Now, this had killed the market for, of course. So now this had killed the market for, of course.
I'm ready.
Tonda tusaasira amasannyalaze gagaanye genda kuba enkuba kyeyeekola.
Fenno twawumuddemu olwaleero. Okya nti naye mbadde mugenda ofuna pamiti.
Pamiti? Eyaki? Ebyeri.
Toki Madam Mary eggulo we nakikubidde. Ngali mukunga nti ngende ndabe mukyala director. Nemubuuza nti Madamu Sophie aliwo. Ko embu yagenda kuwummulamuuko. Bwe yasabamuuko kaliifu. Nemubuuza kaliifu kakoma ddi. Ko ye mbu kaliifu kakoma oba she's not sure. Kuba oli yasaba liivu ye tebamanyi. Tayagala kugamba nti yabwaka. Kati mbu naye ndaba results zo. Ayeyeye. Lindawo katono ndeekaane wano enkoko zimalawo kasooli. Nange. Sooke ndeekaane wano eno. Mwana gwe ne mbuka yeye angati ndabe madamu oba bikyano AR buli kaseera abeera
Madam Director kati ye AR.
Angambye nti mbuno result zaalabako ze siina za last semester zokka mbwe zisigadde alaba nina.
Naye jjukira tewakola video editing gwe kyebumanya taliiwo.
Kati go video editing wamukola oti?
Twamukola. Pepa twagikola ne baasaba, baagisaba ne tugikola. Jjukira twali tetwagikola jjejje, tojjukira ebintu bya jjejje ne gundi.
Mbijjukira.
Jjejje ne koziko ng'onaabeekalizamu twakola results.
Njagezaako naye mukwano abantu beekalizamu ne bamala bakuzuula oba tofudde.
Kati agambye madamu gundi, kati madamu director mulaba akole ki?
Mbu lwaki tetwabiteeka mu writing? Mbu twali tulina obiteeka mu writing mbu kati bigenda kunzibuwalira. Ne mugamba nze madamu Sophie namubuulira verbally. N'angamba mbu ebintu eby'official tebabyogera verbally. You would have put it in a writing. Naye n'agamba no results zaalaba za last semester. So nina okujja nkole internals eza last semester. Nziremu oba nkole ne zino. Ekitegeeza nyinayo internals 2.
Za mulundi gumu. Za mulundi gumu za last semester.
Za last semester. Then kati yubitable naye emirundi emeka?
2. Bwe twamisinga ne last semester.
Kati nange kati ekitegeeza nina okugendayo this semester nkole internals. Then nali ndi supposed okola last semester.
Ate ajja kutegeera. Madam Director ajja kutegeera.
Kyekoza nnyo naawe.
Ajja kutegeera kuba ssente kati
baava nti kati mbadde njagala nfuneyooko ka ssente. Kuba mbadde njagala nzijeyo eyo nga mu September awaawo. Kuba ngambye abaana bagenda kutandika mu August nga 21. Kitegeera? So kati nze ne bwe nzijja ng'omwezi gumu guweddeko. September nga 29 awo. Bwe nzijja September nga 29 awo. Nfuneyo ka ssente ne bwe ziba nga 9. Oba 9 mweta. Jjukira oli baali bammanjayo 4+. Bwe nfunayo nga 9 nkibatwalire.
Obawaako 9. Obawaako 9 ziri enkadde ne zeesasula abakubanja za semester.
Nate ziri enkadde anti teziwera 9.
Anti ngambi singa osasula 9 enkadde ne zeerevolinga baba batandika kubanja za semester eyo. Which last semester kiri 9
Kiri 9. Ekitegeeza kati baba bammanjayo mmeka nga 3+.
Ng'osasuddeko mmeka?
Nga mpaddeyo ekyo 9.
9 net.
Katugambe 9 net.
Osasula 9 kuba apparently baba kubanjanga kamwana. Kamu 3 nga 4. Kati bw'osasulako 9 kitegeeza baba basigala bakwanayo emitwalo nga 44 mu baana. Bw'osasuddeko 9.
Kika. Kati ekyo Mukama atukwatireko naye baaba. Ng'ate Madam Mary olina okujja abasomesa bakulabe kirasi waaka
Tategeera bo kye beetaaga, bo baagala ssente. Bo kye baagala, even if you appear once, bo kye baagala ssente. kyogamba Madam Mary agenda kuba akulondoola even ne mu weekend wakuba kati assistant AR ayinza okubeerangawo.
Yamanyi nze kyemmanyi bwe nkwatagana n'abalekicala kitegeera ne baga nina ekizibu bankyusa sibeere mu Kampala.
Balekicala tebeetaaga bwe kyeweetaaga
Kati
kukwatagana n'abaana
banampa batya posita?
okukwatagana n'abaana b'osoma nabo we bakola tests. When it comes for tests, they tell you, we do those tests, waka n'abeera submitted. Kyesaana n'ofunayo mukwano gwo. Waka n'abeera submitted. Nina woba oli eyo nze I can meet that person wabanga mukwano gwo ne muwa wakawo n'amuwaayo.
Ndowooza tetujja okukola.
Kuba notes tuzirina wano. Osomesa
Kati
tobeetaaga.
ngenda nnoonya ssente making sure nti ngenzeeyo nga at least I have something. Kale kati twogereko tubabuuzeeko oba tugende bugenzi mu maaso. Mukama we ajja kujja paka. Ajja kujja aluliriza ekyo. So of course, sorry guys, we were ajja kujja. Sorry guys, we are discussing a little bit of the we are discussing a little bit of the situation, of course, in Rwanda and the relocating of people. And sorry that we had to talk a little bit. There are some other issues that are very, very sensitive at times. And unfortunately, you were not able to understand what we are talking about. But anyway, you're welcome. Kifuka ku bugundi bwaffe kyokka mbunywa. You're welcome. For those who are, of course, just joining us now, it's me, Maria, and my colleague, INNOSSETU. And Zamunang topic. The topic today is Rwanda relocating people to the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. By the way, a week ago, Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo
Yeah, actually, no, like Democratic Republic of Congo yetulanye, but in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, eri Brazzaville. Nga olaba nti Uganda eno Eastern Uganda.
Lwaki ogiyise Brazzaville?
Nambye waliwo Congo Brazzaville ne Congo DRC. That's what I mean.
Kati Eastern Congo yeriwa? Siene tuliranye. Eri Eastern part of Congo. Anyway, now I think 4 days ago, there was an attack.
Eastern part.
There was an attack. There was an attack at the border and the districts that are bordering Congo and Uganda. There was an attack, and a lot of people were actually it was an attack of the M23, and a lot of people were displaced. We saw a lot of people from Congo entering Uganda. Others were disarmed, by the police and the military officials at the border. But yeah, we had a chaos over there. Lwaki bano bali mu relocating abantu mu Congo?
So omusomero wano oli,
Mm.
we see that dozens of Rwandan families are being resettled in the eastern Congo, sparkling fears of ethnic clashes. Rwanda-backed M23 rebels control the area. So, um, uh, uh, the Kura Bazungu Romania, a provincial member of the parliament representing D.R.Congo, D.R.Congo's Masisi territory, said the families were arriving in DRC in trucks and taking over villages vacated by the Congolese displaced by the violence. So the territory around Kishanga and near Virunga National Park in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo is under the control of the M23 rebel group. Rwanda backed M23 was informed in 2012 and is known for its armed resistance against the Congolese government since 2021. So the group has been seizing more and more territories in the region. We see that uh, M23 terrorists that about 4 vehicles brought people from Rwanda. Of course, the majority of them women and girls. So the M23 issued threats to the Congolese that people brought from Rwanda to these two territories would be settled in the plots of the displaced Congolese. So the fear is the situation risks plugging us into perpetual conflicts over the land. So neighboring Rwanda has not reacted to the allegations. However, in the past, Rwanda has repeatedly denied its support to the M23 rebels, despite of the UN report and human rights organizations finding credible evidence to the contrary. So uh, we see that both the government and civil society recognize that we have that there are, of course,
That is,
perpetrators who have taken refuge in neighboring Rwanda and others in Uganda. So therefore, the possibility to hear that some have returned to parts of the country under the control of M2023 is not a surprise. But the problem is that this could rise into ethnic clashes within Congo. However, bano si ba refugee wabula baba bajje mu Rwanda mwennyini.
mm.
So these are refugees. These are not refugees. These are people that were picked from Rwanda to Congo.
Mm. Kati babadde baddayo oba M23 ebalumbye.
Ng'erumbye baani Abanyarwanda?
Mm.
No, M23 controls this area, this eastern
The
part of
Eastern
Congo.
Congo. Mm.
Abantu abalibaawo, the former people of that place, baavaawo ne bagenda because of the violence and the war.
Mm.
Now these people are
Mm.
resorting to bring these people to this area just because the people evacuated from this place, the M23, because the trucks they are talking about zabadde guarded by the M23.
Mm. This M23 South, Njakimigisa, M23 has been in Congo for some time. And I remember these were the same rebels who could enter the western part of Uganda. They could attack Kasese. They started by the way throughout that border at Rwenzori and all those other places that neighboring Congo. There was a certain time, when they were murdering like a lot of Ugandans in the western part. But Of course, with the conflict and the wars that and the wrangles between them and the government, they extended, but they occupied a certain area. No, like I said, like last time we saw, of course, displacement of a lot of people. When you say that, when there is this allegation or the claim that Rwanda is relocating people to the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, it is not something that Rwanda is just doing now. This is something that has been running for some time. Era gye weegendereza waliwo abakongo aboogerera ddala Olunyarwanda, if you've ever noticed. Most of them, and abamu when they come as refugees batera ne bagendako ne Rwanda. They head those sides of Gisenyi. So they know this place, they have a connection. And for some time, last time, I explained something that there is a time where they were not allowing people who ran out of Rwanda to come back. Kagame actually sees these people as people who pose a threat to his governance. And he usually questions their comeback, at times thinking probably maybe the rebels might also involve, rebels might as well come all in the name of course, Rwandese who have achieved their peace and they're coming back home and so on and so forth. Now, these people, if you look at most of the people in the eastern part of Congo, or the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, actually they speak Kinyarwanda. Most of these people speak Kinyarwanda and mix it with the Swahili. I can tell you this, INNOSSETU. These guys that you usually talk about ababeera n'ebinnekiresi biki okimanyi boogera Olunyarwanda. Have you ever realized that? Tracy, have you ever realized that these people speak Kinyarwanda? But they say they claim they claim they are Congolese. Okitegedde? Bagamba we are tuli ba Congo, but when you listen to their Swahili, they are very confused. They cannot even speak Lingala. Now when you look at their omwana agenda kwokya ennyumba y'abandi ono. Wait, lindaho katonda.
Shaka.
Trace.
So the M23, of course, rebel group. However much, of course, Rwanda, of course, even up to now, is still denying the fact that he's supporting this rebel group. But a lot is happening. Of course, a lot of evidence, a lot of facts are coming out to show that, of course, Rwanda is backing this, of course, rebel group. Depending on what we see. Why is it that the so-called Rwandese within, or the so-called Rwandese that, of course, that were taken to Congo, of course, why is it that they go with to these areas where this M23 is? Choka, these are areas that had the people that evacuated. Abantu abo bagenda komawo. It will be another war. It means these people are not going to end a war because it is believed that they are Rwandese that are Congo that were born in Congo, that their motherland is in Congo, their ancestors were born in Congo. There is that belief among very many Rwandese, very many Congo Rwandese. That's why bana abagundi ba M23 bo beereetawo. They come. So wait, like before we go any further.
Ba M23 abasube baatulugunyanga wano ku booda. M23 tebaagobebwa kuva Uganda. ne bayingira e Congo. Kubanga ng'oggyeeko during the days of genocide in Congo, a lot of Rwanda, because the border, Congo also, Rwanda nga yo einako ku border yayo eya Congo to Rwanda, Rwanda einako kagundi katini nnyo, a very tiny portion that borders Congo compared to all the East African countries. Kitegeera? Because if you look at Tanzania, it has a quite a bigger portion than Rwanda. When you look at Uganda's border length is bigger. Kitegeera? That means in actual sense we have a lot of Uganda, Congo origin mixed in Uganda and Congo because of of course the scale. The landscape between Uganda and Congo is extremely huge. Kitegeera? So with the Rwandese, we had this problem during the genocide where a lot of people were displaced. And some of them, of course, moved to Congo. But again, they moved to a certain part of the eastern Congo, which isn't even large, a very small portion. But and remember that time Congo wasn't at peace. So they were still also going through a ebizibu like Congolese. Now I think for the fact that these people when they moved to that place, some of them settled in. Now when we saw the M23 started killing people and of course hijacking others, more especially the young people. M23 has also ever attacked different schools in Uganda. The war between M23 and the government of Uganda actually lasted for something like 3 years consecutive, where M23s could enter in that game park. That game park killed people.
ate nga Congo egamba Uganda ne Rwanda be baba supporting.
Anti olaba Congo ye terina kyakwogera nga yo. Congo nga yo, it has even failed its own people. Kitegeera? When we had the M23 coming into Uganda, hijacking, and by the funniest thing, most of their commanders were women. Kati nekikusesa. At that time, when they were entering Uganda, kidnapping children, and so on, there is that park. There is a park where they used to, of course, raid, and they used to enter, I guess, to get bush meat and all that. Most of the commanders at that time were women. They were ladies who were commanding the M23. They were brigadiers, they were ladies or women. But they were suppressed now. When they had that heated war, they started marching forward to the depth. They started marching munda mu Congo. Ne luli tebaali mu Congo. Uganda we yatandika obbakuba nga batandika okuwithdrawinga nga badda munda mu Congo. Now this war affected other people. It affected business, it affected trade at the border, and a lot of people, like you say, were displaced. But still, after most of these people were displaced, we have got categories of
abasiba ADF
but
abalina bakomanda abakazi.
n'aba M23 n'aba ADF balina ba female commanders. Ba ADF balina ba female commanders naye bo balwaniranga mu nsozi ez'ekaseese. Naye kati tebawulikika nnyo. ADF kati tewulikika nnyo. M23 ate kati eri more loud. So but kati ngenda kwogera nno to ADF. The ADF at that time too had female commanders, by the way. And I don't know why, but I think maybe because it was easy for female to camouflage, and probably for people not to understand that a woman is a rebel commander or stuff. I don't know. But this by the ADF was suppressed in D.R.Congo. When ADF yoyeje yasooka okubeera suppressed, ne kulyoka kuddako M23. But I think for me, according to the setting of this M23, and of course the people of Congo claiming that these were their people. First of all, they are Rwandese. The M23 rebels are not really Congolese. They even speak in Rwanda. They are Rwandese. But oba balimu batabule olumu oluhutu n'olutuusi. Batuusi. Nenga ndaba tebafaanana kyekimu. Naye kati nze mu kulaba okwange ndowooza M23 be bano abantu abaali tebaagala Kagame. Be bamwagala yabawagira
n'abasapootinga.
ate abawagira agamba nti bali eyo mbu bakimayo abatamuwagira. Kiki kino?
For the M23, these are the reasons actually they put it down. They say, of course, M23 claim to defend the interests of the ethnic Tutsis in Democratic Republic of Congo against the Hutu militants. This conflict has roots in the aftermath of the 1994 Rwanda genocide, where the Hutu extremists targeted the Tutsis. There is also a historical background where the M23 was formed in 2012 by the former members of the National Congress for the the National Congress of the Defense of the People, another rebel group. They initially rose to prominence by briefly occupying the city of Goma. There also regional instability. The Eastern, of course, Democratic Republic of Congo is rich in minerals and has been plagued by conflict for years. So M23 is one of over 100 armed groups vying for control in the region. So after the period of relative calm, M23 resumed hostilities in 2021, of course, leading to renewed fighting and displacement of thousands of people in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. So when you look at this so-called M23, these are people like they're not fighting because of they are preserving actually the legacy of the Tutsis in the Democratic Republic of Congo, because yes, there are some Rwandese, there are some Tutsis and Hutus within Democratic Republic of Congo, but it is not the biggest number of people that can be put down like to form a war. I was watching a video about, of course, Kagame. There is this France 24 news channel for English that was asking Kagame, like, some people say that you're supporting the M23 rebel group within Democratic Republic of Congo. The man became angry. He was like, those people, they have their own reasons why they are fighting within Congo. Why don't you listen to those reasons they are fighting for within Congo? That's what Kagame was replying to these journalists. Then Kagame said, that when you look at Congo, has ethnic, has two people within Congo, are they treated well within Congo? So he was trying to bring about that ethnic part of reason why this M23 group is within Democratic Republic of Congo, but forgetting that all the support, of course, is provided by him. He's the one that is giving support. But for him, I don't think Kagame is looking for ethnic, of course, for ethnic purity within Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, but he's looking for resources. That's what I can
Yes,
conclude
yes,
now.
he's been looking for he's been looking for resources, Seto. That's what he's been doing. No conflict. There's a video that Joby showed today talking about the same thing. I didn't find what Joby did that video, giving a good history of Kagame being in the Congo, him and Museveni being up in northern Congo and eastern Congo, stealing resources out of there, and showing how it was Angola, like I said, came in there and put an end to it. They came back again. Like I said, I'm gonna see if I can have Joby send you that video. It's one of the very few. That's why they have a lot of numbers. That's why they don't have a lot of numbers, a lot of big numbers, because it was so. Whoever did it was so well done. The brother African who did it was so well done. That's why I knew they have a bunch of damn numbers. It was shadow man. It was so well done. I was like, wow, this tells the whole history. So, um, and it was so well done that it showed how Kagame, how the white people, because they know that Mobutu Seseko was going to be overthrown, so they used Museveni and Kagame to help overthrow him with Kabila. So for one, these goddamn Tutsis into his government, and so they can control Africa, control the Congo. He said, I'm not putting your motherfucking tribe up in my goddamn government. Are you crazy? You people not about to control the Congo too. And so they got mad and invaded. Museveni and Kagame invaded Congo and then flew rebel forces all the way to Kinshasa and were about to overthrow Kabila. And so he went over to Angola, because if anybody remembers, Angola and Congo is really one. Before the white man broke it up, that Angola was part of the Congo. At that time, Angola was still had a strong military way to Mugabe. And so they went in and they threw Kagame and Museveni ass out. And that's what they told them they were going to kill both of them. Said, we're going to kill you niggas. You don't stop your shit. He told Museveni they were going to kill his ass. Told Kagame was going to kill him. So, but through time, so even though they repelled him, Uganda went back into the northern part of Congo, and Rwanda went back into the eastern part of Congo, and then they started fighting each other. So Kagame and for the goddamn resources to give to the white man, they start fighting each other. But who's gonna give resources to the white man? And so, you know, it goes deep, Seto. So the idea that Kagame says he's not involved is stupid. You go right back to the late '90s with Kagame and Museveni going in to overthrow Congo, you know, and putting their forces in it. And then at one time, Uganda and Rwanda were fighting each other for the goddamn resources. So, you know, sadly enough, that's the fact right there. So, can you hear me, Seto?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
actually,
Just go back.
someone could.
Just go back and ask Google. Say the Congo conflict when Rwanda and Uganda invade the Congo. Say the late 1990s because it was considered the worst war in African history. Say say the late 1990s when Uganda and Rwanda invade the Congo and see what you get.
nange osobola kubeera nga ye yali wasti
They
bw'ajuulirako.
say
How you doing, Maria? Go ahead, Santo.
they are saying that uh, this is what they are saying here. There hasn't been a full-scale war in the region since Rwanda and Uganda invaded the Congo in 1998. After
Yeah, I
they
told they
fell out
invaded. I told they
in the
invaded, but
blame.
they were there for years. Yeah, they like I told you, they invaded. So the idea Kagame said he hasn't been part of that is a lie. They invaded the Congo, Santo. I idea him saying that he don't know what the hell's going on is an absolute lie. They invaded the Congo, right? So we know they invaded the Congo for resources for the white man. We know that's a fact. So to say that they don't know, for Kagame to say, I have no idea. Don't blame me about the Congo. I have nothing to do with it. That's a lie. That's a lie, Seto. He was he invaded the Congo. It ain't had nothing to do about no genocide either. Because he wanted them damn his white man said, hey, nigga, we put you in power, go get them damn resources. So that's what it is still. And easily said you can easily look at the output with Uganda and Rwanda about the resources coming out of the Congo that they're selling on the damn market, especially Rwanda now, because they just said, like I told you, eventually in the 2000s, that was, remember, if you guys remember, Kagame and the 70s started not speaking because they started fighting each other about who was going to get those resources in the Congo, Santo. They started fighting each other. So yeah, Uganda fighting Rwanda in eastern part of the Congo for the goddamn resources. These two backward niggas couldn't even get along about this stealing. You know, the white man said, "Hey, we're gonna keep you in power. Just steal, steal for us." They okay. As you know, they couldn't even get along. They start stealing and shit. They start not doing right.
Now this
Yeah,
now Kagame of course caused a lot of chaos in the eastern of course part of Congo, where almost actually when you look at most of the people of course left this area, of course were displaced. Now we are seeing that they are fetching people from Rwanda to go to the eastern part of Congo so that he can dominate the area.
exactly.
Because if
Exactly.
at all, because these people that of course they are making to relocate to eastern part of Congo, these are people that are going to be guarded. Now, if at all the Congolese government come to attack these people, because these places, this eastern part of Congo, it had its own people that had lived in that area for a long time. Now you're bringing these people from Rwanda to create chaos again. Now that is where the war is going to break out. If at all the government of uh, of Congo attacks these people, and of course, because Kagame had no full evidence of the mistreatment of the Tutsis in Congo, neither these M23 people. they had no full evidence of the mistreatment of Rwandese in Congo. Because they said that they are fighting because of that. Yet they want resources. Why don't they fight from other parts of Congo? Why do they fight within the mineral area?
Exactly. How about that? Seto? Go ahead.
Now, because due to the fact that they had no full evidence of mistreatment of the Tutsis within Congo, now they are bringing out Congolese people, Rwandese from Rwanda to go to eastern part of Congo so that they can be mistreated to have evidence for taking minerals out of Congo. There is a certain video actually about actually when they were asking Kagame about what was happening in Congo, the guy just became mad. I guess it is the one.
Said, quote, "What's happening in Eastern DRC is interview show. Our guest today is the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame. Mr. President, thank you very much for being our guest.
Welcome.
In a recent interview,
he's been the president forever.
Tshisekedi said, quote, "What's happening in Eastern DRC is a genocide 10 times worse than the one in Rwanda in 1994. And he points the figure at you and say you
don't want to hear that.
Much more than the International Criminal Court.
Yep.
What is your response?
I don't give
it.
You can't say I'm a corrupt bastard. I'm a corrupt, no good psychopath.
Fabrication or people running away from their own problems and blaming others.
And blaming others about me invading and stealing shit.
So, I think the word genocide is not by accident.
Well, I wouldn't come to that and just leave behind.
And I would go there. I just won an election with 99%.
Eastern Congo problems should be understood even by.
And understand the West. Let's put this moron in power and keeps him in power. This is a despicable, despotic ass bastard.
Call what is happening there.
Because happening in
Rwanda, we have 100,000 refugees. 100,000, and they keep.
Let me see. Yeah.
And most.
Yeah, because you know why they keep coming? Because you keep in there stealing and blowing up shit. That's why. They keep coming. Go ahead, Seth. I can't stand this. No good.
He's exaggerating.
Them have been there for over 20 years, and they are associated with this program. And these people, they've lost their property, their land, their own relatives and friends have been killed in Eastern Congo because of who they are. I might want to know that the mirror image of what happened in Rwanda in 94
all lies
actually evolved over years.
Understand? This no good bastard was part of the killing of his own people.
I'm talking about, and actually there are 4 times the same number in Uganda, and I think others have gone to other places. They've been removed from their place, their property, and their lives have been destroyed because they are called Tutsis.
I'm going to send you a video, Central. I want you to play this video too about Kagame. Finish playing that. I'm going to send you a video right now, Central. And my internet don't go out. Give me a second. This one right there.
But because they are called the Tutsis. So how did
for him, is protecting the Tutsis within Congo. He doesn't want to know about other people.
But the Tutsis, but the Tutsis are not natural to Congo.
Rwanda, the Congolese, the Tutsi people that are coming to Rwanda are not refugees. They are just people coming back home. Refugees.
Like
These are the people who ran during the genocide. They are just coming back home. They are not
exactly right, Maria. They're not indigenous to the Congo, Assetto. So when he sounds crazy when they lost their land, it's not their land. They don't belong there. Go back to Rwanda. But he's using that as a scam so he can steal the resources in the Congo. He's always been, he's nothing more than a puppet. So, it's crazy. But I'm finished. I sent you that video, Seth, so you should see it on your phone. But, but they allowed him to keep talking because they made him look like he's some kind of statesman. This motherfucker is a no good, dirty psychopath. A murderous psychopath.
Send it to me, Keith, because INNOSSETU's SIM card was blocked. So send that video to me. INNOSSETU's SIM card was blocked. Obajina ku WhatsApp ku laptop here.
Damn.
What? My SIM card was
how the hell can I pay him? Damn.
Yeah,
what? God damn. Let me send it to you. Okay, here we go. Maria, I sent it to you. How that was a SIM card blocked?
Well, I think it has got to do with the registration of that SIM card. And if you are going to send him salary, don't send him. Yeah, because he may never get it. Nenda kuzinga ndijukire besimu ebadde munju. Kati nyakuzinga ku LinkedIn.
Yeah. So a lot of so this guy, like there is a way in this video he became angry with the journalist asking him to clarify whether he supports the M23, of course, rebel group within eastern part of Congo. So I was asking, hey, why is it that we see that the trucks that have been allegedly to be, of course, packing thousands of Rwandese, why are they guarded by the M23? Yes, yet Kagame as a person says that he doesn't support the group.
So to have forwarded.
Okay.
You got it, eh?
So let me try to. Laptop na yanso bedo tutandika kugenda ku bintu ebiri sensitive ng'etandika okwekuusa. Let me try to present it here.
He has achieved the colonization of Rwanda to the IMF. The fact is, Paul Kagame is widely viewed in Africa as a Western neoliberal puppet who has essentially turned Rwanda into a colony of the IMF, a colony of Western investors. And he has achieved that. He has achieved the colonization. The fact is that Paul Kagame... Paul Kagame is widely viewed in Africa as a liberal puppet who has essentially turned Rwanda into a colony of the IMF, a colony of Western investors. And he has achieved that. He has achieved the colonization of Rwanda to the IMF and to Western investors through severe suppression of democracy. And even the violent elimination of political rivals. He's achieved that through purely autocratic means. The fact is that under Kagame, Rwanda has backed the M23 rebels in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And that the violence that they have caused has dramatically benefited those very same Western investors and multinationals who have colonized Rwanda and for whom Kagame has collaborated with the colonization of Rwanda, has allowed them, much cheaper and much easier access to Congo's minerals through illegal mining, artisanal mining, smuggling, and so forth. With the chaos and the violence, what you can look at chaos and violence in the perspective of neoliberalism is utopian level deregulation. Chaos and violence is the ideal suspension of any type of regulation or law or rules that investors and foreign multinationals that they have to abide by, that they have to follow. So all the rules go out the window when it's a war zone, when it's a conflict zone. So that gives you free, open, Wild West style access to the riches under the earth, giving them access to what are called now conflict minerals, or blood diamonds, blood minerals. That's what they're trading in. That's what powers your iPhone and your electric cars. And in fact, since the resurgence of violence in the DRC, with the M23 rebels backed by Rwanda and the Kagame regime, mineral exports from the DRC have increased between 15 and 20%. That's a lot. And that's what's on record. That's not even talking about what's not on the books, the illegal, the smuggling, and so on. Companies like Tesla, Apple, Intel, HP, Dell, Volkswagen, BMW, all of them have been accused of sourcing blood minerals, conflict minerals, for their manufacturing. The fact is that Kagame has basically run Rwanda according to IMF dictates, structural adjustment reforms, neoliberal macroeconomic recommendations, and so on. He's hollowing out the public sector and privatizing all state assets, state enterprises, and so forth. He's privatizing them, selling them off to Western foreign multinationals. I mean, one of his top advisors is a former World Bank official, and BlackRock, the largest asset management firm in the world, has partnered with Rwanda's sovereign wealth fund to manage a portion of their portfolio, and BlackRock invested something like $50 million to run infrastructure projects in Rwanda. So they're buying that country. So of course the agenda of the narrative is to obscure all of this, is to obscure the reality that Paul Kagame is a Western colonizer collaborator who has sold his country to BlackRock and to the IMF and to Western private sector power, while also allegedly, with evidence, supporting the M23 rebels to spread violence and chaos and anarchy and atrocities in the DRC for the benefit of those same Western private sector powers. But the narrative is to obscure the reality of Paul Kagame and his regime and their collaboration with colonization and their undermining of their own sovereignty, Rwanda's own economic sovereignty, as well as undermining the sovereignty of their neighbors and the stability of their neighbors. We're supposed to see any Western client tyrant as a hero of democracy, as an icon of progress, an icon of development and stability, who's steering his nation in the right direction. So you see how if you're getting your news from CNN, you have no idea what's going on in the world. You really have no idea. They're not going to tell you all of this. And that's part of what the narrative is about. The narrative is specifically for the purpose of ensuring that you don't get real information, that you only get fake information, so that you never understand the world. They take some elements of fact. This is why you have to first, when you're reading an article, you have to first identify what's the actual information in the article. Very often, it will be just a few sentences in the body of an entire article. There will maybe be just a few sentences that are actual information. And then you have to identify what's narrative, which is going to be most of the article. And then you have to identify what's the agenda of that narrative. And then try to understand what's the meaning of all of that. So like here, the meaning of all of this to me is that the West is losing power in Africa. And so they have to hype up one of the few remaining puppet client regimes that they have, which is Rwanda. Because as I say, most of the people who are going to be going to the CNN website have no idea why they should care about Rwanda. But Rwanda is a geostrategic country. It's an important country. And as we can see by what is allegedly taking place by Rwanda's backing of the M23 rebels, they're having an influence over another country. They're a gateway country for Western companies to access the blood minerals, the conflict minerals in the DRC. So it's a very important country. And it's important for you as a reader to think that it's a great and wonderful, upright, virtuous, democratic, progressive, stable country where the leader is overwhelmingly popular. Even though any other country in the world where a leader got 99% of the vote, it would be immediately laughed at and mocked as a very blatant plebiscite, as a very blatant phony election. But here they actually report it with a straight face.
yogerako sibitegere oluzungu lungi.
What'd you say, Beto?
I don't know where this guy actually gets all that information. I rather, is this a white or is like an Arabic stuff?
Yeah. He's Arabian. He's Arabic. Yeah.
So
of course, we know that for a very long time, Congo has supported. Let me say, like Congo has supported apparently like 75% of the world's technology
Exactly.
development.
Exactly.
So if at all it has that potential, then like what he said, that if at all you are following news on these other mainstream or the channels like CNN, BBC, whatever, you are not listening to the real news. You are not watching the real news.
Yeah,
I agree with him there 100%. This is something we have been talking about here all the time, and how people have been using these media channels to, of course, keep people blinded about the truth. If at all Congo contributes to that huge percentage on the world's technology, okay, he was mentioning big companies, car companies, computers, and so on.
Exactly.
And a country is still going through the bloodshed like that for the greatness it has. Of course, you can now understand. Because I believe if Congo takes its resources by the horns, if Congo decides to reclaim, of course, Congo, and achieve victory of holding what it has or what is rightfully its, that means definitely we are going to see a collapse of huge, big companies.
Exactly.
In the world. So it is important for these people to actually keep Congo out, to keep Congo in these conflicts because they are benefiting from this. So I think as
That's
Africans, we
right.
really
That's why you got mad about the Umzungu. Why are you mad about that man, Seto?
No, I wasn't like I'm just surprised. Like I thought it's a Muzungu just trying to reveal, of course, because it is not the first video. Keith, you're telling us to share about that guy. He
Yeah,
has
when
revealed
we doing good, if it's got good information, Seto, I'm gonna share it.
So I was just surprised where he gets that love for Africa and how he analyzes issues without lie that are happening in Africa.
Well, if you're gonna be truthful, that's the truth. Huh? Truth is
Because
the truth, Seto.
he seems to know Africa more than Africans within Africa.
Because the Africans, as Maria, the Africans are kept. The Africans. Go ahead, Maria. Go ahead, Maria.
people are out there seeing the truth. There is nothing more to that. People are out there seeing the truth, but of course, it is something that Africans don't love to involve themselves with. A lot of people, when you wonder about something, definitely you will find out. And a lot of Africans don't wonder why they go through whatever it is they are going through. Some of them are in their comfort zones. All right. And more especially, it has everything to do with religion. Jesus has decided, this is our fate. Jesus, this
Damn.
is our fate. And that's the problem. Because you
Damn.
get so
Damn.
satisfied.
Jesus has decided for me to be broken. Fucked up, Maria.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people are very comfortable because they feel
Okay.
like this is the fate and they are supposed to be the way they are. But if at all you wonder and question, and now this is why we are seeing such a man, of course, having knowledge about a lot of things. Probably he questions that how come? The moment you have that how come, which a lot of Africans don't have the how come. All right.
Wow.
First of all, the Bible says don't look for much knowledge. Okay, cast are those who,
What? What?
oh, you didn't know. So
What?
you did not know that the
The
Bible
Bible,
answers
the
completely
Bible tells
different.
you to be. Listen, the book can tell you to be stupid.
No, no, no.
Goddamn, throw the
I think
book
I
out.
think I think that you
Oh,
should give me the right phrase for that word.
God damn.
Hey, yeah,
Bible
yeah.
said
There is
don't
also
look for knowledge. Shit.
there is also another verse that says, "Blessed are those who believe without seeing,
Yeah, I know that
and
one.
blessed are those who
Yeah.
believe without questioning."
Oh,
Right?
I know that
So
one. All kind of moronic ass shit.
yeah. So I think a lot of us are ignorant because probably we have been designed to be that way. People appreciate,
Yep.
even when they are in the most ugliest and sorrowful moments, Africans will appreciate. So it is easy for you to control such a person, who gives up and just lets fate take control. By the way, if you look at the true nature of the Congo people, these are people who are strong. All right, they have a very strong will towards a lot of things. There is probably something that is about them that prevents them from fighting back. And like we were saying, the biggest issue is if at all you are not affected directly by situations, it is very hard for you to respond or to react to what is going on. Most of the Congo people we have seen, at least the biggest percentage of the Congo out there speaking the truth about Congo are Congo who went abroad as refugees.
People that are abroad, yeah, abroad.
The people that are abroad. Now, these are people that yes, we have some others on the ground, but the majority of the people. Now, when we have, and at times we may realize that some of these people went abroad, they were not actually affected by the war. And even those who were affected were not given a huge chance to travel. Now, when you look at most of the conflicts that are in Congo, they are surrounding the wells of the minerals. And Congo being a very big country, of course, not everyone has even ever come close to the wells. So you will realize that a lot of
That's
people are
true.
not affected directly. Like Innocent was telling us that people were evacuated. There is a place where people were evacuated. You find that there are places with no people. There are places that have got a lot of bazungus living around them. And then when you reach some areas, you're like, is this a Mzungu's homeland? Because you find that a lot of Congolese have been evacuated. You only come across Indians, you only come across British people, you only come across the Americans, you come across the Japans, and it is always in the wilderness, not like cities and all that kind of stuff. But these
Yeah, it's
people are
always where the mines are at, where the money's at,
yes.
Maria.
Now, when people are not affected by these, there are a few people that are struggling. There are few people that are struggling. Now, this is the technique that people usually use. And I think this is one of the technique that has made it easy for people to exploit Africa. First of all, people decided to be, if at all we had people still remaining back in their homelands, because the moment you cross the border, the moment you show that you are packing your bags and you are moving as a refugee, there is no one who is going to attack you. They start attacking you because you have decided to remain home.
Right.
But the
They
moment they
you
see you pack
you
your
you
luggage
you
down,
you 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 stand with a diamond, with a cobalt, with a coltan, with a platinum, with an oil, all the shit I want. You get your ass out of here, nigga.
true. So when people are moving, when people are moving out, why can't you help people from their home? If at all United Nations is there to help, because they tell us the refugees are coming. At the moment you step out of Congo, then United Nations starts helping. But United Nations has been in Congo for a very long time. Why don't you help the Congolese when they are home? Why don't you protect them from home? Why do you want
Because
them
that
to move out of home
because they're
so
busy,
that
because they're busy
so
stealing.
protected?
The United Nations been stealing too. Shit. That's why
True.
they've been there for a long time and they never done nothing.
People are starving. The only time United Nations attempts, because they have some radios around the affected areas, you'll hear a lot of people, of course, over the radios that if you want aid, you're going to come to the United Nations office staff, and that aid is only to evacuate you out of the zone or out of that area. Then when you move out of the area, that's when they start giving you some money and stuff, not to remind you of going back where you're coming from.
True.
Now this is something that we've seen United Nations in Congo for a very long time. We've seen these other countries in Congo forever. For instance, if at all Kagame is claiming that he has a lot of refugees coming, the only refugees that are stepping in Congo, in Rwanda, that are coming from Congo, are actually his tribe. All right, and then recently, I was even talking to
Black.
Innocent. I was talking to INNOSSETU. I was saying, but have you realized that most of the refugees that go to Congo, most of the refugees that move from Congo to Rwanda are actually Rwandese? Because even some of them who come back to Uganda, people who can speak Rwandese, they even don't know Lingala. They even don't know some Congo languages. They can only speak Kagame's language. You understand? So he cannot call them refugees. And then you cannot move to a country and bring your rebels and claim you are protecting the people. Why don't you take them back home and protect them from there?
No shit.
So why doesn't, why if at all, because is Rwanda too small? If at all he has even the potential of inviting other people, like the people sent from UK to Rwanda, then why don't you remove all your people from Congo and bring them home? Why are you sending military people to go and protect them from the other side? It doesn't make sense. But of course, they'll be giving such kind of excuses for some time, and unfortunately, fortunately, most of us are not falling for that. So I can say that the situation of Rwanda and Congo, the situation of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo and the settlement of a lot of Rwandese, all Rwandese relocating to the Eastern, this has been there for a long time. It is not something that is starting now. And the excuses of different African leaders to invade Congo and exploit, it is actually not only Uganda and Rwanda. Actually, Kenya is also among the countries that have been exploiting Congo. Everyone, not only
Wow.
the Wazungus and other countries, but it's like everyone that is next or close to Congo is trying so very much to, of course, have a part. I remember there is um and it is very funny because even the Sudanese themselves also tried to enter
Damn.
Congo. That was
What?
Congo is experiencing neglect from other African countries, because we would love to see us uniting over to overcome these situations. But again, we are also taking the same measures that the people who are exploiting us are.
Wow, it's crazy.
It's raining cats and dogs.
Oh, my guys might have to end the show.
Let's try to continue.
Because I know my internet's gonna go off in a minute. I'm out in the middle of Nicosetto. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere.
He's back.
He came back. He had to hit Kagame in the mouth. Get back on here. Yeah, see, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, guys.
We
Swampland.
can see that. Where are you heading to?
I'm in South Carolina. Headed. I'm in South Carolina. I'm headed to the coast.
Oh yeah.
But the place is
So
green.
I've been.
The place is green, though it is having a plateau. Is that water there?
That what, Seto?
I was asking, is that water or on your right?
Yeah, yeah, that's water over there. Yeah, it's water. It's in a swamp. That's water over there.
The place is a plateau. It is
It
flat.
is. It's swampy.
So
Yeah,
flat.
Yeah, it's floods. Yeah, it's swamp. It's a swamp. It's a marsh area. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's actually like a swamp area. It's marshy. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
got like about 12 more miles to go to get over where I gotta go. Very marshy. This where a lot of the
Now,
slaves were. Uh, yeah, he gonna pull out right in front of me. Look at that shit. God damn.
now keep no garage, no fuel pump, no fuel pump. Now, if at all you get a mechanical problem with the car, how do you like?
Say it again,
What do you
Seto.
do
I went
now?
out. Say it again.
Like I'm seeing no garage,
I got a
no
bad
fuel pump
ear.
now.
Say it again.
Like no fuel pump or garage within. I don't see any houses around or garage stuff. Pump. If at all you get any mechanical problem with the car, how do you do it?
There. I'm out in the country center. How many houses headed towards the beach here? So you got. It's not a good place to build houses because it's all swampy. Nobody wants to get flooded out. So right here, but I'm losing my connection. Connection up. So let me know if you guys can still hear me or not. You guys hear me? I got bad internet out here.
Yeah,
Let me know if you
hear
guys can hear me at all.
Yeah, we can.
I got bad internet. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Probably
can
not.
hear you, kid.
I got bad internet out here.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
The,
Huh?
the place looks like Africa, though in Africa, when you go up country in Africa, the roads are the roads are maram roads. They are not tarmac.
Yeah, well, yeah. Africa's been kept underdeveloped on purpose, Seto.
Africa develops for purpose.
No, it's been underdeveloped on purpose. It's been underdeveloped on purpose. Africa should have been had roads all over the continent. This is the richest continent, but it's been underdeveloped on purpose. I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I got roads. Ain't nothing out here. I got roads. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. And this is how Africa should be, but it's been underdeveloped by the Europeans on purpose so they can keep stealing resources. They don't want to, if they develop Africa, Africa comes develop, those resources will be used to develop the continent. They don't want that. They want those resources going to them to keep their places developed. Where the hell is that white man walking at? Shit. This truck right there, shit. Slow down.
When you say that, I actually believe it, because in my home area we have a road. It is a huge road that leads to Lake Victoria, but between actually in 2017, all the people were chased away from the lake. Now the lake has its owners. We see Chinese on the lake fishing. You can't do fishing on Lake Victoria in Uganda if you're poor. And the rich people, they're the Chinese and the rich people. But that road before the government, of course, nationalized the lake, this road that leads to Lake Victoria, it wasn't constructed. But as actually immediately the government nationalized the lake, we started seeing construction. Now it has a beautiful road, like a beautiful road, well constructed up to the lake.
Wow. because the Chinese and other people that nothing they do because of African people. That's how corrupt Africa is with these no good damn leaders. How you not gonna be able to go and fish out your own lake and you African, but other people can? Sounds crazy as hell.
The army used to beat people, kill people, burn their houses. You know those people that live along the lake. Those people that live along the lake, actually, they don't have permanent houses. The houses they normally have, they're out of wood, they are out of iron sheets. They make simple houses, not permanent houses. Now the soldiers, the army could come beat these people, burn their houses. Now,
God damn.
there is no person who wants to be beaten and
beat them for what, Seto?
For staying at the lake. Actually, they could accuse them with a lot of crimes. They could accuse them for committing certain crimes. But
why can't they stay? Why can't they stay at the lake, Seto? That's crazy. Why can't they? Why can't I stay at the lake?
Now the lake is covered with the army. There is no way. It is covered with the army and the Chinese. The Chinese now take the fish mouth. Now you can no longer fish these other types of fish at the lake. It is majorly the tilapia that is concentrated on at the lake. Remember, a tilapia fish. This is a predator fish. It eats other species, other types of fish. The tilapia. So it is only the tilapia that is fished out of Lake Victoria, the part of Uganda. These other fish that we normally see, the Nile perch stuff, these actually people.
So you're telling me, Santo? So you're telling me, Santo, the regular people cannot fish it, only the Chinese can now?
Yeah, people can't fish unless when you're very rich and you have a connection with these Chinese that want the fish mouth.
Wow, that's only in Africa. You can never go to China as no African and tell about you taking over one of their damn lakes. They'll kill you. But you'll be able to be Chinese, come over because they got them corrupt leaders, and now have Chinese take over your lake. You got to be insane.
No, these Chinese, you see them at the lake. You see them at the
wow.
lake. They even constructed a barbed wire fence along the lake. You can't trace without their consent. Apart from those islands in the lake, that have people that they have nowhere to take these people, and those people are those islands that are within the lake. Those people, they don't do fishing. They do planting. There is a certain crop. How are they? Palm oil, palm trees. That is their that is their commercial job. They do. They don't even do fishing. Yet they are at the lake.
Wow, that's crazy.
And even when you do
The people at
fishing
the
at the
Mc,
lake,
the people
those
at the
rich people,
McDonald's. Wow, that's
even those
crazy.
rich people, even those rich Ugandan people that at the lake that have big boats at the lake that do fishing, at the end of it, they have to report to these Chinese. Whatever they
What?
fish, they have to take it to the Chinese. So there is no way
What?
you can escape these people. You can't escape these people. There is no way
Wow,
you
this is.
can.
It means the Chinese got control of your country. This is absolutely. You told me Central's absolutely crazy.
And they are the one to distribute this fish. Like fish in Uganda is not sold anywhere. Actually, before the army went on the lake,
Wow.
you could find fish being sold anywhere, but we have special markets now for fish. You must get fish from them. Once these Chinese are from the lake, they take that fish from that place. You can't get it anywhere apart from that place. So they are monopolizing everything. So that's why, no matter why fish is expensive in Uganda,
This is
they
absolutely
might even
crazy.
it is expensive because of that. The Chinese
Wow,
monopolize.
that's what you tell me Central's unbelievable.
So
What you telling me? What you telling me
that
is
is what
unfucking believable.
that is what the government is doing with these Chinese at the lake. So if you go there,
Wow.
like, they can beat
Crazy.
you up. Now, when you look
Wow.
at people who used to fish, the people who used to do fishing at the lake, these are people now. There are people at the lake. I've ever visited a certain lake. There are people at the lake that clean up boats, make the nets, those fishing nets well after fishing. That is what these other people that used to fish at the lake do at the lake. Prior prior to the army going to the lake, actually, fishing was looked at in Uganda as something that is earnable, something where someone can get money very fast.
Yeah,
It was an earning business, but right about now, you can't earn.
that's
They
crazy.
either beat you to death, they can beat you to death if you don't tell them stuff. Like what? If you're not rich enough, even those rich people. Now, these Chinese monopolized fishing. They are the one who do fishing. They are the one who transport. They drive those cars that carry fish to the markets. They are the same people that do all that stuff without allowing people. Actually, people in Uganda, those people who have fish,
Give
they
me a
do
minute,
their
Central.
business.
Give me a minute, Central. Go ahead and talk. Give me a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You see that, Santa? You still there?
Yeah.
All right.
So you're on traffic light or you're from P?
Okay. Say it again.
Like, are you on traffic, like traffic
Nah,
light, or you're
I stopped. I'm actually at the place I gotta be at. So I'm actually at the place I gotta be at right now. So just trying to stop traffic and do what I gotta do, Santo, real quick. So, oh shit.
okay.
Trying to back. See, you see me? I'm backing up. Pull into this place. Ooh wee. Kind of fucked up, Jack. Oh shit. You see, so I'm backing up over here. Hope no other cars come. I'm trying to back up over this damn. Back up over this fucking place.
Okay.
I'm supposed to hit that damn tree over there. I'm supposed to hit that fucking tree over there.
Yeah, but there are a lot of cars there. Is it a parking? I'm seeing a lot of cars.
Oh, that's a car dealership over there, Santo. They selling cars right there. That's a car dealership. That's a car dealership where they sell cars right there. Shit, I can't see shit on this other side. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a car dealership right there, Santo. They selling cars right there. Yeah, damn, this is fucked up. Like, I can't see shit. Damn, can't see a damn thing over this bitch. Yeah, that's a car dealership over there, Seth. I'm backing it. You see, I'm backing into this place. God damn. Place is fucked up. Place is fucked up, Santo. Fucked up. This place is fucked up, Santo. It's fucked up. All right. Give me a minute, Santo. You go ahead and talk. I gotta do something real quick.
Okay. So a lot of actually things happen, of course, in Africa. A lot of African people go through, of course, a lot of things. Like Africa has suffered enough, and I think it is time for us actually to wake up and, of course, and know certain things. Waking up, of course, it starts with enlightenment, understanding, of course, that first of all, we are African people. Secondly, understanding, of course, learning and understanding what we have here and how to use what we have here. Starting with the communities that are around us. Starting with the people that we live with here in Africa and the people that are outside Africa, because we are all Africans. Let's learn our true identity. I think that is the clear path for we to understand, of course, to understand well how things, of course, move. There are a lot of leaders that we have looked up in Africa um, as the worstest leaders here, because they tried to reveal the truth about what the so-called, of course, white people, of course, the atrocities they are doing here in Africa. That a lot of leaders that have tried, of course, much, of course, to bring unity within African people. But at times, unity is broken by the hypocrisy within African leaders. There is no way someone will trust someone um, when he's seeing this guy is doing, of course, contrary. He's dealing with the other people. He's dealing with the oppressors. He's dealing with the wrong people. He's dealing with the people that are against we. He's dealing with the people that are oppressing us. Today, we are seeing innocent people being relocated of course, to the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Yes, the M23, of course, rebel group in Congo. For them, they say that they are fighting and preserving, of course, the Tutsi minority within the Democratic Republic of Congo. Is this true? Is it should we believe that the people that were relocated, these trucks that were seen, that they are alleged, let's say, that was seen, of course, transporting people to the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, those, like, where must these people be? Yes, we have seen a lot of people defending, of course, are saying that there is a lot of genocide that is within the Democratic Republic of Congo. Yes, should we think that ending genocide against the Tutsi in the Democratic Republic of Congo is by causing insecurity in that part? Is by relocating people from Rwanda to the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, which the place had its people that lived in this area? Should we think that that one is going to bring peace? Should we think the lives of these people that have been relocated to the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, they are going to be, of course, safe in this area? This is, of course, Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. This is where actually every rebel is fighting, is yearning to stay, is yearning to fight from. So should we think this area is worthy to stay, to take people, to relocate people in? The place that had its own people that were displaced because of the insecurity, because of the insurgencies that are within, of course, Congo. Should we think this move is to bring peace among the two minorities within the Democratic Republic of Congo, as the M23, of course, claim that they are bringing peace in the Democratic Republic of Congo? Should we think this is a move, of course, to create peace within the Democratic Republic of Congo? The M23 group, yes, at the beginning of this group in 2012, it was, of course, said that, of course, these people, of course, they are being funded by Uganda and Rwanda for these people to stay in this area. But when you look at this, of course, the March 23 movement, or the M23 movement, which is often, of course, abbreviated as the M23, the March 23 movement, also known as the Congolese Revolutionary Army. Remember this, it is also known as the Congolese Revolutionary Army. Is a Congolese, of course, rebel military group based in the eastern areas of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it operates mainly in the province of North Kivu, which borders both Uganda and Rwanda. So the M23 rebellion of the 2012 to 2023 against the Democratic Republic of Congo led to the displacement of a large number of people within the area. And we see that the M23 took control of Goma in 2012, of which it is a provincial capital with a population of 1 million people. But it was requested to evacuate it by the International Conference on the Great Lakes region because the Democratic Republic of government had finally agreed to negotiate. And in the late 2012, Congolese troops, along with the UN troops, retook control of Goma, and M23 announced a ceasefire and said and said that it wanted to resume peace talks. So the United Nations report found that Rwanda created and commanded the M23 rebel group that was from the United Nations, and Rwanda seized its support because of the international pressure and the military defeat of the Democratic Republic of Congo and the UN in 2013. By 2017, we see that M23 elements resumed their insurgency in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but the operations of this splinter faction had a little local impact. In 2022, a larger portion of the M23 started on offensive, which eventually resulted in capture of the Congolese border town of Bunagana by the rebels. And we see that the M23 rebels got close to the city of Goma and forced about 180,000 people to leave their homes after the Congolese army had withdrawn from the region near the village of Kibumba. So, Human Rights Watch reported human rights abuses by the M23 rebels in the Democratic Republic of Congo, including unlawful killings, rapes, and other war crimes. So allegations implicate Rwandan support of these actions, bringing concerns about war crimes and making the humanitarian situation worse in the region. The United Nations Security Council encouraged sanctions against the M23 leaders and implicated Rwandan officials. So the groups occupies various towns in the eastern North Kivu, including Bunagana, Kiwanja, Kitanja, Lubaya, Lusuru, and controls vital roads leading to Goma. So looking at the background of this M23, of course, movement and its creation, we see that the National Congress of the Defense of the People signed a peace treaty with the Democratic Republic of Government, where it became a political party, and the M23 soldiers integrated into the armed forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo. We see that the M23 takes its name from the date of the peace accords. So the armed wing of the group is led by the General Makenga Sultan, who has of course served as acting president of the group since of course 2013. So removal of Bishop Jean Marie, a former CNDP member. So the formation, of course, of the M23 was, of course, formed in 2012, like I said, weighing nearly 300 soldiers, the majority of the former members of the National Congress of the Defense of the People, turned against the Democratic Republic government, Democratic Republic of Congo government. That's what I mean. Citing poor conditions in the army and the government's unwillingness to implement, of course, the 23 March 2019 peace deal. So General Bosco Intaganda, by then also known as the Terminator, was accused by the government of Kinshasa of leading the group. So the President Kabila called for the arrest in 2012, and the government had threatened, of course, to redeploy former CNDP soldiers away from North Kivu before the full implementation of the peace agreement, which of course prompted many of them to defeat from the army and created the M23. So the M23 is made up of primarily the Tutsis and opposes the Hutu paramilitary Democratic Forces of the Liberation Front, a group that accounts among its number of original members of the Interarmy that carried out in 1994 Rwandan genocide, as well as the area of Mai Mai community matters, mostly created and supported by the Democratic Republic of Congo. So to be able to upstaff the troops, occupied villages were asked to deliver young stars for the formation of the village defense communities. So this way, a larger number of more experienced soldiers could be stationed on the battlefield. However, the approach backfired when M23 troops tried to extort from local population, since the armed young stars defended their own villages. Following the military successes, we see that the M23 rebels made additional demands, citing issues of human rights, democracy, as well as good governance. So they have accused President Kabila of cheating of course, in 2011 elections, so the rebels have threatened to march on Kinshasa and dispose the president. So how does the mutiny? We see that the rebels were active in North Kivu province, fighting government forces in Rutshuru and Masisi territories. So in 2012, a Congolese spokesman reported that 200 M23 soldiers had died in the mutiny and that over 307 soldiers had surrendered to the FARDC, including 25 Rwandan citizens. So in 2012 still, we see that Colonel Sultan Makenga announced that a government offensive, of course, to dislodge the group from their, of course, hideouts had failed, and that they had in return captured several towns towards Goma, the provincial capital. So this, of course, M23 movement forces had advanced to the outskirts of Goma by, of course, 2012 November and warned the UN peacekeepers not to support government troops. Congolese government spokesperson, of course, Lambert, accused Rwanda of backing the rebels. So the DRC has not yet declared war, but we are ready to face it. This is our country and our duty. That was the spokesperson. So M23 rebels advanced, of course, by 20th November to Goma, and of course the Congolese army retreated with little fighting. So M23 forces paraded through the city, and some residents turned out to welcome them. So Congolese customs officers abandoned their posts, leaving their border to Rwanda open. So United Nations peacekeepers watched the occupation without intervening, of course, stating that their mandate was limited to protecting the safety of civilians. So M23 rebels acquired as well as 6 artillery pieces, a case in point Type 26 and BM type rocket launchers, approximately 20 shipping containers filled with arms and ammunition of various caliber, all of which were abandoned by the FARDC during the retreat from Goma. So Democratic Republic of Congo President Joseph Kabila by that argued Goma citizens to resist the M23 takeover. However, the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon criticized the M23 for allegedly human rights violations during the takeover, including intimidation of journalists and abduction of women and children. So nothing that the first Congo War had begun with fighting in the same region. So we see that this, of course, brought a lot of rising serious questions about the stability of Congo as a whole. So during the siege, more than 2,000 Congolese soldiers and 700 policemen defeated the M23. However, in November, we see that the FARDC, in cooperation with the local Mai Mai elements, routed the M23 rebels from the nearby town of Sake, so 27 kilometers from Goma, as they marched towards the Bukavu. Also in November 22nd, we see that Kabila, the president by then, suspended General Gabriel Amsi's the Amsi's FARDC commission because of the inquiry into the alleged role in arms sale to various rebel groups, including the FDLR in the eastern part of the country. So it implicated M23. So M23 rebels retook Seke from FARDC after an intense 4-hour battle, reinforcement, and their position in a town by that time. But we see that the UN, of course, had declared the loss of 30 to 31 refugee camps in the area due to the M23 offensive. However, when we see that the disagreement between the factions of M23 about how to react to the peace agreement led to violence in M23's political leader, Jean Marie, who was sacked, in a statement signed by M23 leader Sultan Makenga. He was accused of treason because of financial embezzlement, divisions, ethnic hatred, deceit, and political, of course, immaturity. Makenga declared himself interim leader, and clashes between those loyal Sultan Makenga and those loyal Jim who allied in Bosco in Taganda have killed 10 men and 2 others that were hospitalized. So M23 denied that it is in heat by dissent. But that is the M23, of course, in simple terms for anyone who, of course, doesn't know about M23, what they do, of course, what they did, how many people they keep. They have caused a lot of insecurities, of course, in the eastern part of Congo. However, the supporters of this rebel group, they have a lot to say. Because when you look at the agendas these people are putting down, this rebel group is putting down, is so different from the supporters. The supporters are saying different things, but these people, they want to take over power within Congo. So, so if at all, let me say this, if at all this, of course, rebel group is like, okay, let's accept, let's be open about this. If at all it's not, of course, being supported by Rwanda, by the Rwandan government, why do we see people being, of course, taken to that part? Why do we see people, of course, being relocated to the Democratic Republic of Congo? For what reason now? Because when these people captured actually this eastern part of Congo, actually they made over 180,000 people to relocate on force, because they had this in their plan to bring of course Rwandese to this area, to bring these people, of course, to occupy this area. They had it in plan, and their plan is not all about the ethnic purity, preserving the rights, preserving democracy, preserving the rights of their Tutsi counterparts within Congo, but it is to take resources within this area. Because when you, of course, when we analyze all rebel groups within DRC, they are centering, they are within this area, they are within, of course, the eastern part of Congo, because it has a lot of minerals ranging from diamond, gold, coltan, and other, of course, critical minerals in the area. So everyone seeks, everyone yearns to fight within the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. However, these rebels, they are near the Ugandan border, and that is the Bunagana area. They are near the Ugandan, because the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo is near Uganda. So all these people, they fight within this area that is nearing Uganda. So what does this mean, of course, to what does it, of course, mean to, of course, to peacekeepers? What does it mean to people within Democratic Republic of Congo? What does it mean to these people that were taken to this area? So what are these people going to be safe? Who is going to guard these people? Yet these people, they're not supporting the government. So how are these people that have been relocated going to be safe? It's kind of confusing, and of course, it's kind of confusing, but let me hope this move, of course, is going to make these people get everlasting